Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando, and to all of you green-clad people. It's very impressive looking out at you. I'm Linnea Nelson, the worship chair and a member of this congregation. And with me in today's service are our worship leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our director of music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, our accompanist, Danny Manzan-Villegas, and the Chalice Choir. Our board member, Ted Nelson, and also George Hooper will provide a testimonial. Our DLRE, Judith Stein-Farrall, is attending an OWL training, so she's not here with us this morning. But let's not forget all of the wonderful teams of people in the background working diligently to ensure that we all come together this morning, so thank you all. We welcome all to join us as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. You are welcome here regardless of your color, national origin, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. Our special announcements for today are to drop off gently used jewelry to create a Mother's Day boutique for New Image Youth Center. Children at the welcome table in Gore Hall or in the volunteer space, weekday mornings until next Sunday, March 24th. Thank you. And for those of you attending in person today, join us in fellowship in Gore Hall after the service for a potluck. In the quieter conversation corner, we're having conversation with the minister for those who'd like to engage in conversation with Reverend Margalie. Everyone is welcomed, especially those who are new to our congregation. Feel free to bring your food with you as we have a table set up near Reverend Margalie. There will be a concert of music for spiritual healing led by choir member Julia Willison this coming Friday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. The concert is here in the sanctuary and is free to all, and all are invited. Now, help the Easter Bunny make a special donation to the Joy MCC Food Bank by bringing canned goods to church the next 2 Sundays. Family-friendly cans with pull tabs are especially welcomed. Collection boxes will be outside the sanctuary in Gore Hall, and let's see if we can fill them to overflowing both this next week and on Easter Sunday. And on Friday, March 29th at 7 p.m., we are having a Tenebrae service. Tenebrae is a religious service of Western Christianity held during the 3 days preceding Easter Sunday, and characterized by gradual extinguishing of candles and by a strepitus or loud noise taking place in total darkness near the end of the service. This is the third offering of this special worship service, and if you haven't been, I highly encourage you. I find it very meaningful. We hope you will join us in person or online. And for more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. Children today will go to activities when we sing them out after the time for all ages, and the nursery is open until noon. And all other announcements are on slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you'd like to follow along with the service, please use the QR code shown in the monitor and on the first few slides. Thanks again for being here in person or online with us today.
Please say the words with me as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Please rise in body or spirit and join in singing hymn number 1014, Answering the Call of Love. This hymn was formerly titled Standing on the Side of Love, but has been changed by the composer to be more inclusive. The words will be projected on the screen.
To worship, I want to add, obviously, the Rodriguez and Cook family is joining us in the service. So Rhonda Rodriguez and Richard Cook are also part of the service today. As a reminder, it is a time of year when we are offered the opportunity to renew a commitment to this faith through our financial support. It is, of course, our generosity campaign. May we lean into the spirit of generosity that resides in this community and give as generously as we can. And may we remember that our generosity makes it possible for us to respond to a call to justice work, answering the call of love. Of course, this month we are continuing to explore the gift of transformation. Today, we're going to focus on the idea that given the choice, would you go back to a prior time or a prior self? And in that vein, I call us to worship with the words of Pesha Gertler, The Healing Time. And I invite you to take the time to hear the words and let them enter the deepest part of your heart. Finally, on my way to yes, I bump into all the places where I said no to my life. All the unintended wounds, the red and purple scars, the hieroglyphics of pain carved into my skin, my bones, those coded messages that send me down the wrong street again and again, where I find them, the old wounds, the old misdirections, and I lift them one by one close to my heart, and I say, holy, holy. And may we remember that our transformation transforms the world because of our interconnection to one another. So we owe one another to transform and grow and get better. So, beloveds, let's greet one another and say hello. So just wanted to tell you where we are with the pledge. We are at about 346,000. So that is way more than halfway, see? We are chugging along. So you know though, 83 of you have pledged, which means many more have not yet. So thank you to all of those who have pledge, and those of you who are waiting for just the right time to pledge, right? That's I know how that goes. You're waiting for the right time. But I encourage you to pledge early and pledge often. All right. And now George Hooper is going to come up and give us a testimonial as far as why it is so important to support this congregation.
Well, good morning, and thanks for the invite. I'd like to mention that my wife, Kay, is over there in row 4, and I tell you that because, I tell you that because after 60 years of marriage, we really think in the terms of we anymore. And any story or testimonial, it's just by nature of longevity, if nothing else, is because we think in terms of we and have made decisions together. I've really been enjoying the series in transformation this year, and particularly Reverend Margalie's comments in the one you feed that I hope you've all had a chance to read. But she said that transformation is not just inevitable, but it's also a gift waiting to be unwrapped. And when it said a gift waiting to be unwrapped, that really struck a chord, because I'd like to share with you just 2 life-changing decisions that Kay and I made over the years and how it affected our spiritual journey. So we made our first decision many years ago when we left our Christian church behind. And in part we made that decision, and you need to go back with me probably to the late 1960s. That was a turbulent time, and we were involved in the Vietnam War. It was raging on. And Kay and I were becoming more and more upset by what we were seeing and by the injustice and the cruelty, both home and abroad. And so we looked around, and in our Pennsylvania Valley, there were many churches, but only one church was speaking out about what was happening. And so we went to visit the Unitarians to check them out. And to our pleasant surprise, it wasn't just the war. There was a whole basket of social justice and caring initiatives that they were involved in. And so, to borrow Heather's words from last week, we became Unitarian Universalists, and we never looked back. And over the years, we raised our 3 children in the Unitarian Church. We became active members and stayed with them loyally until after about 25 years, when, despite all the gift that it kept giving us, we decided we had to say goodbye. And that brings me to the second transitional decision and a new pathway that we chose. Some of you may know part of our story, that Kay and I left our careers as educators fairly early. We sold our house, sold our cars, our furniture. What we didn't sell, we pretty much gave away. And we climbed into a truck pulling a travel trailer and a motorcycle, and we headed out to who knows where. And for some years, we lived what you might call a minimalist lifestyle, on a minimalist budget. And as rewarding and unique as that experience was, the real gift that unwrapped came when we decided to become volunteer builders for Habitat for Humanity. And so, for about 10 years, we traveled around the country, working with local affiliates, building houses for people in need. And what we found was we worked side by side with future home builders, is that the gift that we were giving them turned out to be a gift that they were giving us, a gift to our spirit and a gift to our hearts. And then we realized the Unitarians have had it right all along, that sharing love, working for justice, helping others is really part of your spiritual journey. It completes the circle from looking in to looking out. And we'll always be grateful for those years and the people that we were able to help. So we finally settled down in Orlando after 16 years on the road. And our older daughter, Cheryl, told us about 1U. And we came to visit, and it was everything we expected and more. And so we joined again. And so here we are on a Sunday morning. Our journey has slowed down, as have we. We can no longer build houses. We can't march in a parade. It's even hard to stand a vigil. But here's the thing. You can, and many of you do. And I want you to know that Kay and I are both have said that we are so grateful for those of you who are still able to stand up and get out and make a difference, because it matters to us. And so we're committed to keeping 1U as a strong and a vibrant church, and we've increased our pledge this year 7%, so that you, while you're still able, can get out there and make a difference for all of us. And when you do, we'll be over there, and probably still in row 4, we'll be that old couple cheering you on for making a difference. So thank you, and seize the day.
All right, so this is a cosmic thing, because I did not read George's testimonial beforehand, and George did not read Time for All Ages beforehand. But Time for All Ages, which Judith left before going off to OWL training, is this really cool story about doors. And George talking about building houses and opening doors, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's really neat. All right, so I'm looking around. Do we have any young at heart, feel like coming up to the carpet, hearing the story today? Awesome, thank you. All right, so this is for everybody. Just raise a hand if you're familiar with the book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Okay, yeah, lots of people, including some people in front. Okay, so here in the front, if you're familiar with it, all right, can you, or Do you remember how Lucy gets into Narnia in the first place? All right, so she goes through the wardrobe, right? Yeah, she's in a fight with Brother Edmund, right? And so she's hiding and goes into this wardrobe and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going, and all of a sudden stumbles out and finds herself in this landscape of snow, right? So she's in this magical world with witches, fauns, talking beavers, all right, and the adventure begins. So wouldn't it be cool if there were a magical world beyond every door? When Lucy opened the door to Narnia, it didn't look like anything special. It was just a boring door to a wardrobe full of clothes and coats, but across its threshold was magic. Lucy already had a foot in Narnia before she quite realized what was happening. Many of the thresholds in our lives are like this. We don't know that we're crossing into another world until we're already halfway there. The door of a church takes us down a pathway of growth we might never have expected. The door of the doctor's office suddenly opens out into life with a hard diagnosis. A restaurant door opens onto a first date and echoes forward into the relationship of a lifetime. A beloved person's door closes behind you and sends you out into the world, heartbroken. The door to a library or a gym or a dance studio introduces you to a life's passion you might not have otherwise discovered. We cross these thresholds every day of our lives, for good and for ill, in joy, in sorrow, in bittersweet truth. Truly, even our own front door is a great threshold, no matter how familiar the worlds within and without may be. Given our lives' reality of constant change, every day we open the same old door again, only to step out into a world that is new since the day before. In this way, there is a new world behind every door, awaiting our discovery, if we will only encounter it as such. Before we sing our young people out, let's think about doors for a minute. What's your favorite door? Think about the doors you guys have opened. Tell me about a door. Go ahead. All right, tell me about your bedroom door. What's exciting about it? All right, so doors bring us safety. What else? Okay, and it's cool because? Okay, home after a long day. Tell us about a door. Okay, so doors are comforting too. All right, so everybody, let's sing our young people out to their free time activities. Let's lift up our arms in a loving arch for our children to walk under as we sing This Little Light of Mine.
Good morning. I'm Ted Nelson, a member of your Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. for it too is one of our spiritual values, and it sustains the life and the ministries of this church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to be able to give. It is indeed a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful as well for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Our Share the Plate recipient for the month of March is iDignity. This month and the next 2 months, 50% of each offering will be donated in support of our Share the Plate partner, this month for iDignity. You may, of course, designate 100% of your donation specifically to 1U or to the Share the Plate partner for that month by noting that in the memo field. This is an opportunity to expand our generosity for our Share the Plate partners for the entire month. Please note that this is on a trial basis for the next 3 months. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online using the link. Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
And this is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or a joy you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. During the week, please email us at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. If you're attending in person, you can fill out a card at the registration table or welcome table, and the ushers will make sure we receive them up here. We also provide you an opportunity to silently light a candle for the things you wish to continue to hold close to your heart. So, bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. Come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here as we create sacred space together. The flowers today, beautiful, are provided by the flower team in honor of all the Irish immigrants who have come to our country over the years and brought their rich cultures to our shores. We have from Diane and Bev that this coming Tuesday, the 20th. This is the 20th anniversary of our courthouse demonstration for same-sex marriage and our wedding at Lake Eola. So if you see Diane and, yes. If you see Diane and Bev. Jaden is excited that her artwork is displayed at the Winter Park Sidewalk Art Festival. Yes, congratulations. And we had a sorrow to report, and this is Kathy Spoon sent this in. Fran Robertson had a stroke on February 19. She's not up to calls or visits right now, and her daughter notes, though, that her mind is fine and she's unable to stand or get around on her own. Fran will be discharged to a rehab center from the hospital. After rehab, the plan is for the family to take care of her with support from CNAs. They're also asking that if you know of any good private CNAs, let Kathy Spoon know and she'll pass that information on to the family. And please, please keep Fran and her family in your thoughts and prayers. And we'll continue to check in with the family to see how we can be of further help and support to them. From the larger community, we see all the green here, and I understand our potluck even has a St. Patty's Day theme to it, so don't miss out on that. And March 22nd, so during the week, is World Water Day, and even though I think for many of us who live in this country, water is just turning on the faucet, or it's not something we even think about, but for many, many parts of the world, it is a big issue. It is a problem that it takes most part of a person's day. So March 22nd is that day. So as we ourselves easily access water, let us keep in mind our siblings around the world for whom this is still a struggle. And we continue to hold our Orlando families in love as our communities and our communities around the world with care, with compassion, by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of justice. I mean, you just heard George's testimony. It was from seeing the work that UUs were doing in the community, how UUs were responding to the call of justice that brought him in. Who knows how many others have been brought in for that. And for all the joys and for all the sorrows in this community shared today and those held close to the heart, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send one another healing energy. And I invite us to reflect on these words from D. Scott Cooper, and it's literally asking us to imagine. So if you would relax your body just a little bit more than you are right now. Close your eyes if that feels good for you, or keep them at a soft gaze, looking ahead of you. We imagine a path forward for those who cannot imagine any path forward because of poor health, financial hardship, family crisis, or other roadblocks we cannot begin to understand or imagine. We struggle to imagine a path forward for those who are forced to leave a homeland against their will, and for those unable to leave a war-torn homeland despite their lives being in danger. We imagine a path forward for those who leave their homes to make a better life for their families elsewhere. May we be a welcoming presence along that path towards hope. We come together to imagine a path forward for those of us despairing because we do not seem to know our country nor our neighbors, despite the fact that we have not moved at all. May we be the good we are hoping to find as we travel side by side down the path towards hope. We imagine a path forward for those who feel lonely. May we take one another's hand as we walk that path toward community. Truly, we know as we imagine these ways forward and take one another's hands, the path will lead to hope, the roads will lead to beloved community, and the arc will bend towards justice because we have dared to travel with love in our hearts. And with those words on your heart, we invite you to participate in our candle lighting ritual. If you are willing and able, we encourage you to reflect on how our generosity helps us answer our call to justice. First, we will light a candle for those joining us online. And then at the end, we will light another candle for all the things left unsaid or all the candles not lit. So come forward as you are willing and able and light a candle.
Do you want to know what it is? The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So in case you don't know, what you've just watched is a scene from the 1999 iconic movie, The Matrix. It is a movie that delves deeply in the theme of faith beyond what we can see and truth, even when there is a concerted effort to sell you the lie. Furthermore, living in lie feels much easier and more comfortable than living the truth. It is a choice between embracing the unsettling truth of reality or remaining in the comforting embrace of ignorance. This choice mirrors the countless crossroads we encounter in our own lives, the moments when we must decide whether to confront the harsh realities that lie before us or retreat into the safety of familiar illusions. But discernment is not just about the red pill and blue pill. It is about what lies beyond them, the lessons we learned, the wounds we carry, and the path we imagine forward. The Matrix itself is a virtual reality and a futuristic dystopian world that has been created to distract us, human beings that is, from the truth of who and what we are, and what we have been turned into, and what our existence consists of truly. In the realm of the Matrix, the two pills that you saw, Morpheus, offer Neo's our protagonist, symbolize divergent paths, one leading to enlightenment and the other to blissful ignorance. The red pill promises to unveil the raw truth, even if it shatters the illusions we hold dear. On the contrary, the blue pill offers the solace of ignorance, shielding us from the unsettling realities that lies beyond. Because once you know something, you can't unknow it. No matter what that something is that we've come to know, like painful truth. And there are certain things in life that once we come to know them, they transform us, which is the situation for the characters in this movie. The essential issue of transformation is that it's a trans of the self. Once something has been transformed, it can't go back. Once we have been transformed, we cannot return to a former self. It's an essential truth. So I'm inviting us to grapple today with a profound question that transcends the boundaries of fiction and touches the very essence of our existence. If given the choice, would you go back to a prior time or prior self? You know, with the slogan, "Make America Great Again," we see the damage that is being done to us as citizens of this country, as many try to take the U.S. back to a previous time. Well, there are two things about that. First, as the poet Langston Hughes implies in the poem, "Let America Be America Again," America has yet to be what it has promised to be to all its people. And secondly, it's impossible to go back, for better or for worse. Like the characters in the film, each of us faces a similar choice, albeit in the theater of our own lives. Do we dare to confront harsh truth that lurks beneath the surface, or do we cling to comforting illusions that shields us from discomfort? The decision is not merely about knowledge versus ignorance. It is about the courage to embrace reality in all its complexity. In the world of the Matrix, the allure to return to a prior time, a time of blissful ignorance, is palpable, as exemplifies in these two scenes.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
In contrast, this is what real life looks like for the folks in our movie.
Here you go, buddy. Breakfast of champions.
If you close your eyes, it almost feels like you're eating runny eggs.
You know, a bowl of snot.
Do you know what it really reminds me of? Tasty wheat. Did you ever eat tasty wheat?
No, but technically neither did you.
Well, that's exactly my point. Exactly. Because you have to wonder now. How do the machines really know what tasty wheat tasted like, huh?
Please stop that. Who wouldn't be tempted to retreat into the comforting embrace of the known, that beautiful, juicy steak and that slop you saw on the plate? So in reality, this is what they get to eat. In the virtual world, they can eat basically whatever they want. So who wouldn't be tempted to retreat in the comforting embrace of the known, even if it means sacrificing the chance for genuine growth and understanding? Yet, as Morpheus famously proclaimed, you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. But is ignorance truly bliss? Or is it merely a seduction or an illusion that lulls us and to complacency. As we contemplate the red pill, we are forced to grapple with the unsettling realization that the truth we uncover may disrupt our carefully constructed narratives, the story we tell ourselves about who we are. They may challenge our beliefs, they may shatter our illusions and force us to confront uncomfortable truth. Yet it is only through this process of disillusionment that we can truly awaken to the fullness of life. The red pill then becomes a symbol not only of awakening, but also of liberation. It invites us to break free from the constraints of our own making, to transcend the limitations of our conditioned minds, and to embrace the boundless possibilities that lie beyond. It is a call to courage. It is a call to authenticity, a call to reclaim our agency in shaping the course of our lives. But let's not be too hasty in dismissing the blue pill, that allure to returning to a prior time, because really, it is a hard thing choosing that red pill, right? Because in choosing that red pill, we have to face the truth, which is not necessarily pretty or easy or comforting. There's uncertainty of the unknown, the daunting task of rebuilding our shattered paradigms and facing up to our mistakes and our perceived failures. It is a journey fraught with peril, and not everyone may be ready to undertake it. But gratefully, Adrienne Marie Brown reminds us from the quote for the service today that failure is a lesson in disguise. Our scars and wounds, far from being symbols of weakness, are holy. They are the tangible reminders of our resilience, our capacity for growth, and our journey towards wholeness. Like the red pill, they challenge us to confront uncomfortable truths of our past, to acknowledge the pain and suffering we've endured, and to embrace them as integral parts of our identities. And in the words of Pesha Gertler, finally, on my way to yes, if you remember, that was from our call to worship, I bumped into all the places where I said no to my life. Our wounds are not just sources of pain, they are gateways to healing and transformation. They are the hieroglyphics of our journey, etched into our skins, into our bones, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Keep in mind that there are many important paths, many directions that life offers us. Just like Neo is offered by Morpheus, and each of those paths are fraught with their own challenges and opportunities. True, we can't go back. But even if we could, we have no guarantee that that path that we go back to, that path we regret not taking, we have no guarantee that that path would have been any easier, any better, or any less challenging. If we're lucky, though, our red pills may put us on a path with wonderful companions to travel with. The important thing is that as we navigate these paths in our lives, that we extend our hands to one another. We offer one another support, compassion, and solidarity along the way, remembering that we are not alone. For it is in our collective imagination that we find hope, the hope for a better future, for a more just and compassionate world, and for a beloved community where all are welcomed and valued. And the spirit of love, justice, and solidarity, let us walk together on this journey, knowing that each step we take, we bring the dream of a better world one step closer to reality, even if the journey is a challenging one. As we reflect on the red pill and the blue pill and the choices that lie before us, let us always remember the lessons of our wounds, the power of our collective imagination, and the infinite possibilities that await us on the journey ahead. May we find the courage to embrace the red pill, that is to confront the truth that lies beyond, to heal our wounds, and to imagine new paths forward to a future filled with hope, healing, and transformation. And so, beloved, I leave you really with more questions than answers. You'll still have to answer for yourself. If given the choice, would you go back to a prior time? Would you take the blue pill and retreat to the comforting embrace of ignorance? Or would you take the red pill and confront the harsh truth of life? And perhaps most importantly, what does your answer reveal to you about yourself? As we meditate on these questions, let us remember the words of Morpheus from the first clip. I can only show you the door. You are the one that has to walk through it. May we find the courage to walk through that door, to embrace the red pill, and to awaken the profound truth that lies at the heart of our existence. May it be so in the name of enlightenment and liberation. And please, rise in body or spirit, and let's sing hymn number 413, Go Now in Peace.
Hymn 413 is a round, and it's been a while since we've done a round, so we're going to ease back into this slowly. Congregation, if you'll please sing the words 3 times through. Today the choir will provide the round. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of all surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of all surround you everywhere.
If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we, as a people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. The words of Reverend Joe Cherry. And beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And our call to action this week, once again, is support the sacred work of 1U, support this Unitarian Universalist faith, and pledge early and pledge often.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish this flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.